In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the Excel calculations for the Excel part of homework 13. You need to take your house data set with the price column, the bedroom column, and the bathroom column, and you need to enter these words in column A underneath your data set. First, you need to calculate the mean of each column. To do that, you just go up to Formulas. You go to More Functions, Statistical, and then you choose Average. Average is mean. Then you can highlight the column, or you can just type in B2 colon B16 and press enter. And you'll get the answer right here. Next, just click on the bottom right corner, drag it across, and it'll do it for all three columns. Then go up here again, More Functions, Statistical. You want the standard deviation of our sample. So since your data set is a sample, go to stdev.s. This is the formula with the n-1, and highlight your column. You could also just type in B2 colon B5 in here, and then press enter. Then drag it across. Next, we want the standard error of the price column. To do that, you're going to need to divide your standard deviation by the square root of your sample size. Excel actually can't do this for you, so you're going to have to type in equals, then highlight this column, or just click on it, and it'll say B8. Then type in a slash for divide, and then type in SQRT for square root. Make a left parentheses, then type in 30, because your sample size is 30. You have 30 prices. So you have equals B8 slash square root 30. Then press enter. Next, click right here on the bottom right, drag it across, and it'll give you the standard error for each column. It's just going to take each standard deviation and divide it by the square root of the sample size. So now you have the standard error for the mean of the price column, the standard error for the mean of the bedroom column, and the standard error for the mean of the bathroom column. This is actually an estimated standard error, because you're actually not dividing the population standard deviation by the square root of the sample size. You're dividing your sample standard deviation by the square root of the sample size. So technically this would be an estimated standard error, but we're just going to call it standard error. Next, we're calculating the 95% margin of error. To get that, we just go to More Functions, Statistical. Then we go to Confidence. Actually, Confidence T. And this is the formula that you used in the last homework assignment that has the t-score in it. It's the one that you use when the population standard deviation is unknown. The population standard deviation is unknown in your situation here because you don't know the standard deviation of the whole city. So you're going to go to Confidence T. You have to type in alpha. Alpha is actually just 1 minus the confidence level that you want. So we want to be 95% confident. So our confidence level is 0.95. 1 minus 0.95 1 minus 0.95 is 0.05. That's alpha. So alpha is just the opposite of confidence. For standard deviation, just click on standard deviation that you calculated, and it'll go in here. It's just the standard deviation of this column. For size, type in your sample size. For you, it's 30. Then click OK, and you'll get the answer. And we need to do the same thing here. Actually, let's see, C8. So yeah, it lets us drag it across. So just drag it across, and you'll get all three. Next, we're going to create a 95% confidence interval. This is just the lower bound and the upper bound of the confidence interval. So to get the lower bound, you just take your sample mean and subtract the 95% margin of error. So type in an equal sign, click on the mean, then subtract, then highlight the margin of error, and press enter. To get the upper bound, we have to take our sample mean and add the 95% margin of error. So type in equals, click on the mean, then type add 95% margin of error. So now you've created a confidence interval around your sample mean. Next, here, we'll do the same thing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to calculate the 99% margin of error. So we need to go up here, more functions, statistical, go to confidence T. We do need to type in alpha. This time we want to set the confidence to 0.99. I'm sorry, we want to set the confidence to 99% or 0.99, which means that alpha is 1 minus 0.99, which is 0.01. The standard deviation is still the same, we just click on it. The sample size is still 30. We drag it across to do it for all three variables. Then here, we type in equals mean, then minus the, we have to subtract the 99% margin of error. And we have to take the mean and add the 99% margin of error. Because here, we're creating a 99% confidence interval. To create a 99% confidence interval, you have to take your sample mean and add and subtract the 99% margin of error. So now we're going to once again take the mean and subtract the 99% margin of error. And we're going to take our mean and add the 99% margin of error. And we'll do the same thing here. It's the sample mean minus 99% margin of error. and sample mean plus 99% margin of error. And now we're finished. So now you've created a 95% confidence interval around each of your means. And you've created a 99% confidence interval around each of your means. So for each of your 3 columns, you're 95% confident that the unknown population mean is between these 2 numbers, and you're 99% confident that the unknown population mean is somewhere between these 2 numbers. So if this was my data set, I'm 95% confident that the mean price of San Diego is between these 2 numbers. I'm 99% confident that the mean price of San Diego is between these 2 numbers. The bounds of the 99% confidence interval